Most vendors are probably more optimistic about the sale of their own home, but very different about when they go and purchase somebody else's homes. They don't wake up on a Saturday morning as a buyer thinking, do you know what? I'm just going to see Lauren's home today and I'm going to pay her the price that she would like for this house. You know, it's almost about making sure that sellers are educated on the two outcomes. Outcome one, overpricing. Let's just talk through it. Let's talk through the consequences of that currently. And then option two, correct or event pricing, whichever way you want to present it, using the tools that you've just talked about, and how actually finding the right buyer dictates you achieving the right price, ultimately. Because it is about that, isn't it? And the one form presentation is not just about when they arrive, it's about before they arrive. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Like the videos and the attraction.
Yeah, it's getting everything right from the moment somebody thinks about putting their home on the market. It's having that conversation that says, right, okay, so now we need to get the the dressing room, we need to put that back as the third bedroom or the fifth bedroom or whatever it is, and the room that your kids have used for the Scalextrics or as a playroom for a long time. Well, we need to make that into a study because that's what people are looking for in this particular area. So we'll profile the buyer in that area, in that price bracket for the property, and then we'll consider what that particular property should be looking like before we stage, and then making sure that every single piece of comms that goes out, whether it's the coming soon video, whether it's the first set of photos, whether it's the full video tour, all speak to that particular buyer.
I think there's some gold for the agents in this top end of the market. We're going to talk money again in a minute, Steve, so you don't need to worry.
No, this is all. I'm always learning, right? This conversation comes up.
Got to talk money. We're in your bloody offices, so we can't not. But no, in all seriousness, I think the agents I think they're more focused on speed to market rather than speed of sale,
rather than time on market.
Yeah, so it's like I want to get it on the market. It's like, well, that's the worst thing you can do. You just mentioned the profiling of a buyer. So it touches on what we were saying about find the right buyer and you'll find the right price. You've done a book around this sort of subject, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've written 2 books. The first one, Sell High, Sell Fast, was essentially helps a seller to look at their own house dispassionately and say, what do I need to do to get the best sale? And it gives a lot of top tips on what they should be doing themselves. The second book, which came out in 2024 now, I interviewed agents, I interviewed just a lot of property professionals involved in various parts of the way properties are bought and sold, and found a lot of differing views as to what really makes that property sale happen. So we talked about, for example, the pricing triangle, where you can list high and sit and hope, risk the getting stuck, where you can price realistically and hope for a buyer, or you can price slightly under, but you've got an agent then that's going to drive open weekends, and get the competition going, and how that aligns with presentation and so on. So yeah, I've written 2 books and done a lot of research around this to make sure that everybody we work with, everybody we touch, we're not only fluffing cushions, the kind of the traditional view of staging property where we might be just getting into empty
some people think, I can do that myself.
Yeah, and lots of people say to me, I can do that myself. Okay, off you go. We're very, very data driven. I'm a mathematician by background, so we're very, very data driven. Right from that bit where we use Experian data, for example, to profile the buyer in that postcode from before we even start, and then we're looking at all the trends, all the, what is somebody going to buy? Because it's not just let's make it look lovely and somebody will come and buy it.
There's a lot of science behind. This is why data companies are worth so much money.
That's right.
Because they've got the predictions, haven't they? It's all of the certainty, all of the predictions, and that's what they're selling further down the line. So I think that's a really interesting point.